Hello. Anyone around here speak basketball?
This is Adam Silver.
Trust in Messiah. Welcome to the Confederacy of Dunks
Basketball podcast.
I am your host, Freddie Rivas. And who, sir, are you?
I am your producer, Matt Duncan. Hi, everybody. We're the Confederacy of Dunks. Yeah, we're stoked. We're on Raptors Republic. Let's go.
Woo! Very, very excited to be joining RR. Been a big fan for a long time. Shout out all the OGs who made this place what it is, and we're happy to be a podcast in it and talk Raptors. We're a hardcore group of actors, comedians, analysts, just like maniac Raptors fans. So that's like the main qualification for the pod. And if you're listening for the first time, thanks. If you're coming back, if you followed us to RR, we really appreciate you. And Matty D, if people want to help us out, if they want to whatever, give us good vibes, how can they do any of that?
Yeah, I'll just quickly give a little bit of a base of who we are, where we've been. Confederacy of Dunks has been a Raptors podcast since about 2014 is when I came on board. As you'll hear Freddie talk and Kevin, who's a guest on the show today, they started this podcast when Kyle came to the Raptors. So we've been, we have this time capsule of episodes that we've been doing, the ups, the downs, the championship. And if you want to go back and hear, we did a great Kyle Lowry special, a great tribute for him. You can go to our archive on the podcatchers. It's called Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast Archive. And as well, we have a website, dunkspodcast.com, which is still under construction. We're just tuning it up a bit, but you can also go there and see our old episodes as well there. So yeah, we're just, make sure to go to raptorsrepublic.com. That's the main place you got to go. And if, you're on the YouTube, please subscribe on the Raptors Republic page and give us a comment, give us a rating, all that good stuff. And we'll have more stuff to tell you in the coming episodes.
Sick, Matty, so professional. He covers all the details. He gave you the real origin story. He probably left out some of the darker moments on my part, like talking about Jared Sullinger or Shamori Pons, or basically being in the thick of it for the Raptors. There's been some tough times, but it's all good times right now. We're heading into the playoffs. We have two amazing guests, Ennis, Esmer, and Kevin Dowse.
Yeah.
And I think we're basically ready to get going here.
Yeah.
But let me just say, we try not to stray from anything uncomfortable in this podcast. So I will say, if you're not familiar with the Brittany Griner situation, please familiarize yourself. It's an absolute travesty, and it's a really, scary thing in an already scary time. It's something we keep in mind on this podcast, and we want to think about. So have a look, read some stories, and if there's any way that you can help, I'm sure some WNBA players have causes that Brittany's a big believer in. Get involved. And I think with that said, I'm excited to get this first RR episode going.
Yeah.
So Matty D, if you feel like we're good to go, please just give me those delicious words I crave so very much. Okay. Let's get going on this episode. I'm so unbelievably excited. Let's start with where it all started. I'm going to bring on not even a guest, really, because we started the podcast together. He's now, he's a big time Bay Street guy. He's a lawyer, but he's still amazing hardcore Raptors fan. And we did comedy together. We did commercials together. We worked for a small baby bath, bed, and spa company together. And we started this podcast, Confederacy of Dunks, which he named in a storage unit on Adelaide. So without further ado, give it up as loud as you can, even if you're at home alone, for Kevin Dowse.
Yay, Kev!
My theme music, I just needed to listen to it for a second. It just always makes me so happy, Matt. Guys, I'm so happy to be here. I also have to insist I'm the smallest time Bay Street like you can get. I'm like, they've tucked me by the mops. It's fine.
Right.
Also just want to share such a happy memory, which I think was what started this whole thing rolling, was the day that Kyle Lowry became a Toronto Raptor. I remember, Freddie, you and I ran up and down the halls of the storage locker. We were like, this is Chauncey. We just got Chauncey. This is it. And I think that was what started the whole, let's just start recording ourselves talking about this, because we're doing this all the time.
Yeah, that's literally, I mean, we said that a couple times before, but that was, we were just going insane. So we were like, okay, we need to record this and like at least like release it partially from our bodies.
Yes. Yeah. Some call
dude,
it therapy.
You're on Bay Street. That's all that matters to me. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for coming back. Thanks for, being
buddy. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. Let's bring on guest number 2, because we got playoffs and shit to talk about. So let's get right into it. But I mean, another amazing guest. He's done the pod. I don't even know, like a bunch of times. We worked together on roast battles. He's on, Children Ruin Everything right now. He's been on The Flash, The Blind Spot, Red Oaks. And, I think I'm going through, he's done a lot of cool stuff, but like this week's been massive because he's getting recognized like in the way that he should be by Matt Devlin, William Liu, Alex Wong. Like people are like, Ennis, Esmer is a total real one. I mean, I just want him to work his way to courtside. I think that's like, I don't know if it's possible. I want it to be possible. He should be a courtside personality, along with his dad, but like his dad can just do his own thing. He'll just be there for the games. Give it up as loud as you can, even if you're home alone, for Ennis Esmer. Ooh, the jacket.
Had to show him the jacket. Freddie.
Oh.
Well, that's good music too. I like that too. It's nice. Wow. Thank you for having me. Hello. Raptors Republic little logo there looks good on you guys. Congratulations on the move to the double R.
Thank you. We are very excited. We've looked up to the site for a long time, so we're happy to be here, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, how are you, buddy? Nice to see you.
Good. It's nice to see you too, Ennis. I miss the in-person hangs. I miss game 5. No, game 4, taking it from the Warriors.
Man. Remember hanging out in a group indoors with people you didn't necessarily know that well?
Yeah.
Yeah, game 4 of our championship run against Golden State was my birthday, and it was wonderful at Ennis's place. But you know what?
Yeah.
This is going to be a crazy offseason, so let's make sure we meet up. And I honestly can't wait any longer. Let's start talking Raptors ball.
Let's do it.
Maddie, good sir, I know you're there. You already had that sick intro. Give me your best Raptors sting.
Hi, my name is Chicka Toronto Raptors.
Okay, that's new.
What?
Hey,
flawless.
We are totally up to date on what's going on in terms of the rap world, as you can tell.
I've heard that song a lot, and I never realized he's actually saying Toronto Raptors in the song.
Yeah, you got to slow it down. It's like that famous Missy song. Like you just needed to like hear it in reverse.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Wow, big Raptors fan.
Huge Raptors fan. Yeah,
Yeah, his Piston love is overrated for sure.
Yeah, Sam Jackson has his Raptor bag, but we didn't realize this whole time that Eminem was in fact saying, I don't know, Toronto Raptors instead of saying, okay.
We've said it. We've made the joke.
Bit's over, you know? Sometimes the bit's over. Kevin, I'm going to go to you first.
Okay.
Just very plainly, are Raptors fans, Raptors brass, whatever, whoever you're perceiving out there, are we overconfident heading into this Philly series? And what is your prediction on the series?
Okay. So I'll do my prediction first. I'll say Raps in 6. Let's go.
Okay. Okay.
The overconfident, it almost depends for me on who you're talking to. There's some people who are like, I want Philly. Philly's our best matchup. I think we have a good game plan. There's holes in the roster. That all makes sense to me. That's reasonable. And that's like, yeah, I think there's lots of good reasons that we would have preferred to play Philly than Boston or Milwaukee. And I agree with them. There are some fans who are now like, oh, Philly's in trouble. Philly's dead in the water. Philly has no chance. And I'm like, I can't think like that going into a playoff series. You know, that's too jinxy for me. I think there's lots. I have concerns a little bit about Matisse Thybulle not playing and then putting on someone who can like actually shoot, and that being a bit of a problem that we haven't like game planned for it.
Roasted.
That's a Thybulle.
He may not have both of his vaccinations, but that was quite the shot.
Hey.
Thank you very much.
But I am sort of I'm concerned about like things happening that we didn't maybe game plan as much for, like someone off of their bench. I mean, it's a thin bench, so that also helps. That's not like something we have to really worry about in the series.
Look out for George Niang, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, does Mike Scott still play there? I feel like they should unretire him and just like dust him off for the series.
Scott, no, I don't think so.
But I mean, I think honestly the biggest concern is Embiid going full MVP on us. But I mean, we've shown that we can give him fits, and I hope we keep doing it because it's great to see. And like, you can never. We were talking a bit before we started about, you know, like trading for Harden and what that gets you, and it looks like he's hurting or something. He's not playing great, but I feel like I never want to discount that either, because that's an MVP, you know, that's like a best offensive player in the league at one point. And who knows, for any stretch of time, you can get back in the conversation.
Yeah. I mean, you know, not surprisingly, we agree on just about everything. And I think like the Raptors do have a lot of reasons to be confident. This is a team they can fast break on. This is a team that kind of like over dribbles the ball, and the Raptors try to get teams to do that. But yeah, exactly. Harden, you know, I think out of this week of rest, I can't figure out who would be benefiting more than James Harden. Like, especially if this hamstring. Fred and OG for sure.
And OG for sure.
But like, you know, I think his hamstring clearly isn't what it used to be, or sort of injured or something. But yeah, no, I think like this is a very favorable matchup for the Raptors, and the Raptors have also kind of grown into their style throughout the season. So that's sort of why like I phrase it as overconfident. Like I think, you know, yeah, like I mean, if someone said we're going to sweep the Sixers, I'd say perhaps that's overconfident. But if someone said, you know, if I'm going to throw to Ennis here, but if he says, you know, Raptors in 5, I could be sold on that. But I do think that it's the playoffs. Like, you know, what if Tobias Harris like finally is, I don't know, like lives up to like how much he's getting paid? Or what if Maxey is like, I'm going to make a statement in the series and, you know, ball deny Fred or whatever. Like, it's the playoffs. I think, you know, one thing I will say is I feel like, you know, that Jimmy Butler thing where he's like pressure either like, you know, builds diamonds or bursts pipes. It's like Morey's got to be feeling that. You know, Doc Rivers, Embiid, Harden. Like, I don't know who in the Philly like world doesn't feel immense pressure.
Yeah,
so
they have all of the pressure in this series.
It's insane. But I think also, you know, maybe somebody in that group responds to the pressure in a positive way. But yeah, Ennis, where are you at? Are Raptors overconfident? What's your
I think the Raptors are going to win. They're going to sweep. I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to win 4.
Oh yeah.
Games.
Oh yeah.
They're going to win in 3, and then Philadelphia is going to do the first ever playoff forfeit.
Just like that.
Okay.
Going to set a record. So I don't know if that's overconfident.
No, not at all.
Here's what's great about this this situation for the Raptors. If the Sixers lose, it's going to be like, what's wrong with this franchise? What do we do now? Where do we go? Do they even keep Harden? Was any of this worth it? Da, 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 da. If the Raptors lose this series, it's like, all right, well, we're going to get better next year. Like, that's it.
Yeah,
That's the take. Like, I can't, unless there's some massive implosion that the team has during the series, all the pressure is off us, and it's never been like that. And it definitely has everything to do with the championship. I think it has to do with the fact that we are not starting the first round at home, which is like, the anxiety that would cause us to worry about losing a game one, which they always do. That's off the table because we're not playing at home. We're playing on ESPN at 6:00, which is very exciting. It's a real time. We don't have to be bitter about that. You know what I mean? Like, the pressure is Freddie's been resting for 6 days after the play-in is going to be over. Like, it's off us completely. And I think that's the thing. It's like, I think this Sixers team, I think it's not as strong as the team that we beat in 2019. That's my hot take on this. I think that team had, you had like proven performers. You had vets. Butler is now hardened. And I mean, given what they put all together, hello? Yeah, I think someone just came into my hotel room. That's where I am, by the way. I'm not on a talk show set from the 1970s.
We'll stand by. If Ennis goes disappearing a la Dylan Gott, we'll update.
Well, you take that do not disturb thing off the door. It is open season.
Freak in.
What the hell was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't know. Would you rather have 2019 Butler or this Harden? I don't know. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying this sitting here going like, oh, I knew Harden was going to lose a step, but all these teams that have these microwave expectations, Harden's been on the team for what, 2 months? And suddenly this is supposed to be where the process is, and this is how it all comes out. I love Maxey. I think Tobias Harris gets a bad rap, but I think it's a good to be confident and good to also realize that it's not the end of the world if we lose this series, because we're just going to get better. Our whole core, our top 7 guys are all signed for next year. Most of them are signed for the next year after that. I mean, pressure's off. Let's enjoy this. You know what I mean? I'm not even worried that we're confident. You know what I mean? I think it's great to be confident.
Dude, microwave expectations is the best.
I love that.
We are an absolutely, dig a ditch, slow roast franchise.
Yeah, we're smoking for 48 hours.
We heat up some rocks, put them in the
marinating.
ground.
You know what I mean? We're doing all kinds of stuff.
We are like me and Maddie went to the Raptors 905. They unfortunately lost to the Delaware
Sixers?
Blue Devils, Blue Coats, who are the Sixers affiliate.
Oh no way.
And they had Shamori Pons and Pat McCaw on the team.
Wow. Championship pedigree.
Just watching Banton and Champagne, who's not even eligible to play this year. We're really in a good position to just to echo your point. And it's like let's say we lose, right? I think there's so many good parts about it. Scotty and Precious getting real, I think playoff time. Fred and Pascal getting a chance to be the guys without Kyle. And even Blake was on the William Lou and Alex Wong Sportsnet show today, or the William Lou show. But I love Alex Wong, so you got to throw him out. But he was just sort of talking about the article he wrote in the 2019 in the 2019 playoffs, where the practice players are actually learning Phillies drills and that sort of thing to help the Raptors be prepared. And it's think about guys like Champagne and Utah and David Johnson and Bonga. This experience is so good for everybody. And I also think we are going to win. I framed it as overconfident, just sort of as a joke, but let's we're going to talk more about Philly, but let's keep this baby rolling. Maddie,
I'm excited about how they do that thing because Jordan Lloyd was Steph Curry in the 2019, right? Wasn't that the idea?
He was. Right. Yeah, he was
who is Embiid for us? Does Champagne just stand on climb on Utah's shoulders?
It's got to be Bonga.
And they wear one jersey over the two of them, like a kid trying to sneak into the movies.
To me, it's got to be Bonga.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He's got the size, and I feel like he's got some strength. Maybe it's Banton.
That's not something only the Raptors do, right? That can't be it's so.
That must be league-wide thing.
Yeah. That it's every team should do that. But it's, I can't, that's a tough gig. They're like the stand-ins on a film set, but they got to they got to do the job of these all-stars, and that's crazy. Imagine that, having the pressure of like not playing on the team in the playoff games, but also having to like replicate all-stars on the opposing team. That's stressful. So
yeah, it
shouts
would
to
be
all those guys.
I know, you know
Unsung
what
heroes.
I'm saying. Philly has all the pressure, but maybe our G League team has all the
Yeah.
pressure
Yeah,
because
all
they
the
have to
pressure's
be
on
like
them.
Philly.
Yeah.
Imagine like they're like, okay, so Banton, like after you get annoyed a while, you're Embiid, so you actually have to start to crumble, right? You know, yell at a Philly fan.
Yeah, we need an emotional arc here.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. It's like Champagne, you're Harden, right? So like when someone's screaming to pass, you look them off for 20 seconds, okay? Like you don't pass them. Okay,
Yeah, they
inspired.
they do complaining drills for Harden. It's just him going like,
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
One of them's Thibault, and he's like just like there half the time. Okay,
this is just open season on Matisse Thybulle.
It is.
He was
really,
almost
you know?
a Raptor, for crying out loud.
Yeah. He's actually such a sick player too.
Yeah.
But okay, Maddie, come on in because I want to do the silly question now. And let's go to. We're gonna stick with you, Ennis. Well, I guess sort of silly, but just kind of like a
2019
gearing
merch.
up to the playoffs type thing. The bandwagon fans are about to come back, whether they realize it or not. They're gonna join. Maybe it's like after a series win, but I think they're already like starting to file. People are looking for their 2019 merch and putting it on. What is your advice to the fans coming back and maybe some new ones?
You know what? It's so weird because mostly I just talk about Raptors with you guys and like diehards. So I haven't thought about or encountered really like Fairweather fans who are like, oh, they're great. Who do they have? Like in so long, you know what I mean? Like I can't remember the last time I had someone asked me for guidance on how to root for the Raptors because everybody I know like knows everything you could possibly know.
Live and breathe.
Yeah, I think it ties into the first question, which is just like, we're good. If we lose this series, it's not like don't freak out because it could happen because and I think what's great about the NBA period this year, especially in the East, is like we were 3 or 4 little, you know what I mean? Jokic doesn't block, OG's put back. We can beat the Pistons once. Russell doesn't steal.
That will never happen, Ennis.
Never. We're never beating the Pistons because it started with the Eminem thing because he shouted out the Raptors and Dwayne Casey took that personally.
That's right. It all started there.
That's what. But like can you imagine this? We could have won the conference this year. We could have finished top 3.
That's absurd. Yeah,
and we were right. Like we're 5 games out. Like it's insane to fathom. Based on what I mean, even the most optimistic Raptor fan would have thought about this team. You know what I mean? Because there was all the Suggs Barnes stuff, which dissipated incredibly quickly, probably the day that he showed up in Toronto in the offseason. But like there were a lot of questions, and Kyle left Kyle-sized hole on the team, and so I think it could be justifiable to be like, playing, oh God, like okay, sure, but I mean we've already blown past so many expectations that I just think that the message is like, if we lose, it's fine. This is where they're going to learn and get better. No one's going anywhere. This is our team for a little while. So buckle up and stay following them next year. And also don't wear that handful of spaghetti basketball net shirt. If you still have that, I know that's from like the 2017 playoffs, but
I do occasionally sleep in that one.
Yeah, that's what that's for. That's what that's for. It's for sleeping. It's for in-home workouts.
It really is. If you have the old Spaghetti Factory Raptors t-shirt, that's
who even started that. That might have been you guys that coined that were like that. Those shoestrings or that basketball net looks like spaghetti.
Yeah,
it really
on this podcast.
There's also the one t-shirt where it's like, is that a beaver? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's like the flexing
shoe, the Aqua Teen Hunger Force, talking shoe.
That is the vibe. Good call. Remember? It always bugged me that it was sort of familiar, and that was totally it.
There were some good t-shirts too.
Them now. Oh, for sure. Oh, that whole 2019 run, we finally had good shirts.
They had all the it was like over the course of maybe the Buck series. They had just the cool drawings of the actual players.
Yes, that was dope. Oh yeah, and like the little graphic collages of all, and especially that one they gave out at the ring night, where it's just the Raptor holding the trophy. That's the best one. But
oh my God,
we'll be fine either way. We're on our way.
We are absolutely on our way. That's perfect advice. Actually, a friend messaged me. He was like, "How do I catch up on the Raptors?" And I was basically just like, "Everyone's having a wonderful, wonderful year. OG and Fred have been injured, which kind of sucks. But other than that, it's pretty amazing, and we have a style that's slowly changing the league. So yeah, just be happy, pretty much. Kevin, what's up? What are you going to tell new folks?
So yeah, echoing what Ennis said, like, first of all, relax and enjoy it. There's like, there's literally nothing to worry about. I feel like that there's some leftover fans from 2019 who are just like so angry anytime the Raptors like don't even do a little bit well. And like, I feel like that's a part of Raptors fandom where it's just like, you need to understand how bad it was for so long. And just like, if we have guys who seem nice and try, like, that's plenty for me, to be totally honest. So like, get wrapped up in the personality of this team, because everyone is the best. Everyone's so nice. Everyone has a fun story. I have a friend at work who was asking about it, and I just basically sent them the Scotty Barnes article. I was like, read this, watch everything Scotty does. He's great. He's a constant source of entertainment.
Shout out James Herbert.
Yes, shout out James Herbert. It's a fantastic article. And yeah, like, basically I'm just like, if anyone wants a tutorial, I will talk until you tell me to stop.
Like a true Raptors fan.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
somehow you make your way to Bargnani and they're like, easy, boss.
Yeah. And other than that, like, just watch the games and enjoy it. They're doing this wacky thing that I think in 5 years everyone's going to be trying to do. If you read, I'm reading mock drafts right now, and everyone's talking about 6'9" and switchable, and that's like it's part of everyone's profile. It's like, how switchable are you, and what's your wingspan, and like, I really think we're ahead of a curve here, in a similar way the Warriors were, or the Suns before them, I guess. But yeah.
Remember when, but in the opposite direction, right? Like, remember when the Rockets traded Clint Capella and got even smaller?
Yes.
Remember when that happened? And like, just think of where we are now, and like, I don't know. That's crazy. It's something you don't even like. No one. I don't think anyone wants to give the. Like, I can't even wrap my head around it. That like, not only have the Raptors changed the perception of like Canadian basketball, and you remember like 7-8 years ago, it was a joke to play the Raptors. You know what I mean? Like, no one was scared of them, and now you got everybody's like at the All-Star game, they're taking polls saying they don't want to play the Raptors, and now the fact they're actually like innovating a way to play is just nuts.
It's amazing. I mean, it's not even a Raptors question because I don't want to give it too much time, but like, I get the nurse stuff from LA, but it's like, that's like because they're trying to sound organized for their own fans, right? They're trying to mention like, oh, we're trying to get a really good guy. It's like, he's awesome. And I'm sure when the Warriors floated the Siakam rumors, it's like, I get it. You want Siakam. He's awesome. We have a lot of good players and a lot of good stuff. And I just want to jump on just before I go to you, Matt.
Yeah.
The like this idea of changing things, and like I just was walking around today and all I do is think about basketball. And I really, adding on to the wingspan thing, Kev, I feel like there's got to be some nerds got to do a thing on like rebound radius. And I think with what the Warriors and the Rockets did to the league, you have all these like sideways rebounds all over the place. And I think the solution to that is long arms. And part of what we've done is we haven't worried about, a big lumbering center, because you want guys like Boucher and Thaddeus Young and, Birch is a great offensive rebounder. All these guys coming in have long arms. So when the rebounds are long, it's perfect. And it's sort of like this thing that, I mean, of course the league will try to catch up and there's a copycat sort of thing, but 6'9" and switchable is like pretty hard to get. And, that I think that was part of the draft, right? Like someone already mentioned Suggs, and Suggs looked great. I wanted Suggs, but as soon as the Raptors drafted Scotty, I was like, I bet you Masai knows something I don't. And turns out he did, right? So
shock.
Maddie, what's up? You're a hardcore Raptor fan now, but you've come aboard. You also have that Leafs fan knowledge, and I think there's some of those fans coming. Not Leafs fans, but like
the trauma of being a Leafs fan,
the Toronto trauma. You know what I mean? But like, there's a lot of there's a pain here that's unrecognized. So like, what's up?
That's funny. You're mentioning some points that I did want to talk about. First off, if you're a new fan here jumping on the bandwagon, know that none of us called the Raptors to draft Scotty Barnes. So that guy that you're seeing play, none of us thought he was going to be in the top 4. So it's like very special to have him playing the way he is for us. So really enjoy that, because we haven't probably been this excited about a rookie since Bosch, I would say.
Vince
that
Carter,
panned
I'd
out.
say. Yeah.
You don't know how excited I was about Bargnani. You have no idea.
Well, no, I'm saying you can be
Yeah,
excited,
I
but it
was.
didn't pan out though.
That's
but,
true.
You know, I will say that, like the pressure of 2019, that think of what the team had, what a joy it was to watch them go through that. But the pressure was immense. We cut out our heart with DeRozan to get Kawhi. We all knew in our hearts that he wasn't going to come back. So it was like, this is all or nothing. And it amazingly worked out with all that pressure and everything. But now it's flipped. They don't got that pressure. It's like they didn't think that we were going to be even in 10th place. And look at us sitting in 5th. Like, this is like we should be coming into this series with just like a relaxed, cool feeling. And I'm looking at you, Leaf fans, because I know you're going to be bandwagoning over, and you guys could get a little nasty. Okay, so just, come enjoy the game. Sure. But then when, if things don't go right, don't attack the players on Twitter. Don't, say that they suck and Nurse and this. Just go back to your homes and relax.
Go back to your home.
Last thing I'll say, if you bandwagoners are going to a game, Sort of Shawarma's on the 3rd level only. Stop bothering people on the bottom levels about Sort of Shawarma. You want it, you go up top.
So they got hot lettuce there?
They got nice hot lettuce. Cherry Street Grills on the 3rd floor, I think, too.
Wait, did they get rid of the sort of shawarma on the 1st floor? Because that's not the best.
Wait, there was one there?
Yeah, there was.
Matt,
a
I think you
shawarma
just
on the
don't
first
go
floor.
to the 1st floor. Listen, Matt,
Yeah,
I think
pretty
you're not heading to the 1st floor, but there's
Sorry, that sounded
there's
elitist.
10
I'm so
sort of
sorry.
shawarmas in the building. Okay.
Holy shit. Okay.
There's an elevator sort of shawarma.
Holy shit!
If you can find it,
It's a guy with a
tasty.
bucket.
It's like when you get like Wendy or A&W at Horseshoe Tavern, you're like, what's going on? Okay, sorry. That's just weird.
I've never had a sort of shawarma, and I won't just because of the name. I just can't. That's sorta.
I'll say this: the lettuce is piping hot.
Yeah.
So, that really doesn't-
burn your mouth on that lettuce.
Like if you want
It's
that,
disgusting.
and I know you don't. I know you don't. If you do
Is
want
it like
that,
convection oven, or is it just drenched as well? Is it just like the soggiest, hottest lettuce of your life?
the lettuce is soaking wet
Yeah.
and piping hot.
Freddie, you listen to
Sous
Freddie. You
vide
listen to a
lettuce.
lot of Raptors podcasts. Does any other podcast talk about sort of shawarma as much as us?
We talk about it the least. Okay, Matt. I'm talking like Locked On, Sam, everyone. They talk about sort of shawarma. Like they give it 45 minutes minimum.
They have a
Before
locked on
they start
shawarma
talking.
special.
But fair is fair. So yeah, I'll say to new fans, you guys cover it all. Like, just enjoy the ride and know we're the youngest team in the league. We're the most international team in the league. Vibes are cool. We're doing new stuff, and we're also going up against like an MVP candidate and a former MVP, and Danny Green. That would be exciting, right? So it should be a good year, and Philly and Toronto. This will be a fun, like best 2 out of 3 in a sense, right? We lost on the Vince shot, we won on the Kawhi shot. We'll see what happens here. But yeah, let's talk some NBA. We're actually going to do a question that Ennis suggested, which is a pretty perfect one. Maddie, good sir, please give me your most delicious Adam Silver or weird new NBA sting.
I'll be back right after I hear some stuff about the National Basketball Association.
Okay, calm, Arnold.
What?
I had to like.
Arnold really not wanting to upset you. He's just like, don't worry.
That's
That's fine.
the
He's like
calmest-
talking to a child.
Yeah, that's like I don't even know. I'm so used to Arnold like yelling in movies, but
Yeah.
like, that's like
I thought
Arnold
you
in the
said
library.
Tom Arnold, so I got confused.
Yeah, was that Tom Arnold doing Arnold? Is this a
Arnold
weird
Schwarzenegger?
scene from True Lies? He's like, Take off your clothes slowly. I'm Tom Arnold. Sorry, guys. I don't know what Tom Arnold even sounds like. So.
Yeah, no, I think you got it.
True Lies on now
okay,
streaming
hit it.
on Crave.
I do have a Tom Arnold cameo. That's a true story. So I can tell you exactly how he
Oh
sounds.
yeah, and he's like
right.
7 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane.
Okay, well, I won't ask any more questions about that. Okay, let me go to you first, Kev. Yeah, just I think there's. I mean, Ennis kind of brought this concept up, like players going to different franchises and sort of like the franchise still doing well. So yeah, I just want to see what you guys like. It can be recent, it can be not recent, like whichever way you want to go with it. But what's a good example of like the grass isn't greener in the NBA?
I mean, I got to give it to none other than James Harden being the example. He embodies that in a bunch of different ways. He's, I mean, leaving OKC, no fault. They didn't want to pay him. That one's fine. And I'm usually not one to kind of like put it all on one guy, but between like, okay, well, I need someone
traded, right?
Yeah, he got traded.
Yeah.
But then it was also like, I need someone good. Get me Dwight. No, Dwight's no good. I need someone better. Get me Chris Paul. No, Chris Paul's no good. Get me Westbrook. We can play together. No, he's no good. And then it's like, no, trade me here. Okay, now I'm in Brooklyn. Things are going to be fine. Okay, well, get me out of Brooklyn. It's not working. Get me to Philly. And it's like, I'm not entirely faulting him because as a superstar player, what do you do but try to find the best situation for yourself? And if it's not working, I guess we're in that age where like players can advocate for themselves, and I think that's ultimately a good thing. But it definitely, he swung and missed a bunch of times, and I think the things he was looking for either in teammates or in team structure or roster composition just haven't been hitting for him, and it happens over and over again. So I wonder if he were to just stick. Ennis mentioned he's 2 months in. He's supposed to be like the thing that fixes Philly. Like, what would happen if he had just stuck with Brooklyn and tried to work it out, or things like that?
They were supposed to be like a dynasty when they got Harden. I mean, they were supposed to be a dynasty before they got Harden, but like, it's obviously there's something completely unprecedented happened everywhere with COVID. But like, yeah, I mean, I think it was Zach Lowe who was like, "Hey, if they had changed the vaccine mandate a month earlier, is he still playing in Brooklyn?" And it's like, "Oh my God, I don't know." I can't imagine. Like, I don't know the full details of why he wanted out or why they thought they had to sell high on him or whenever they, because he is a free agent after the season, right? He has an option.
Yep.
I think that was the fear, but they played 16 games together. It's like,
it's
that was
wild.
supposed to be Warriors East or whatever you want to call it. Like they were going to be a problem for years.
Yeah.
And they have been, but in very different ways, in a very different meaning of the word problem.
And just I'm going to jump on your point, Kev, too, with for me, the most perplexing one is like, we're talking about Brooklyn and there's some weirdness there with, maybe he didn't expect Kyrie to not play and KD to be so injured and, some of the vets they have, whatever. But I think the one that does it for me, even, maybe you're like, it wasn't working with Russ or whatever. But the one where I'm like, wow, is CP3, right? Because CP3 goes to OKC, brings them to the playoffs. Then he goes to the Suns and they're the best team in the league, one of them. And it's just, it really, I think that part of the equation is like, man, you actually almost beat the Warriors. Yeah. But CP3 hurt his hammy.
Yeah, that was the year where Houston was like really cooking. I was like, okay, they could go to the finals, no problem here. And then Chris Paul got hurt, and that was basically what did
wasn't it the next year where the Warriors who got hurt? That was when Durant got hurt, right? And they the Rockets had a chance to even take it. Like that was the year that the Raps won. Like, they were supposed to be right. They were up 3-2, and when Durant got hurt, something like that. I think they had the lead or something. I mean, I can't believe they didn't beat the Warriors with that team.
I feel like they lost in 6 in that series, but maybe I'm wrong.
But I mean, the fact that they had a clear path as far as to use a basketball term.
Thank you. Harden's perfect. Ennis, what's your grass is greener?
Well, I got 2 of them for you, and it's a Schadenfreude thing, and it's all tied into like this Lakers. Listen, it's not about the team the players, the individual players, but the media and the way the NBA places importance on LA being good and New York teams being good, it will never not sour me as a Raptors fan, because I've been following this team for almost 30 years, and it's been like that. You know what I mean? The only time we get like, you know, we how many times we have Christmas games, right? The year after we win the championship, and the year after, you know, Vince Carter makes his first splash. And so 2 in our history. And it's not like, I mean, just an example, but like what's happening with, forget the nurse. I don't even want to waste any breaths on the nurse saying, just saying you want something doesn't make it news. You know what I mean? Or wondering what it would be like doesn't make it news. But the fact that the Pelicans not only won vital games to oust the Lakers from the play-in tournament, but I would almost suggest that, I mean, not even almost suggest, that team has a way brighter future at this point, you know,
and they have all the Lakers picks.
Yeah, they got, and the Lakers don't have a first round draft pick till 2027, or is that right? 27 or something like that?
I forget, but Pelicans have a lot of Lakers assets.
The symbolism of, and like Ingram, and I mean, they moved Hart, but they got CJ McCollum for him, and like what's going on with that team, and even whatever happens with Zion, they're either gonna get him back or trade him for something else great, like if he's gonna be another AD and force his way out of that city. And this is like, again, it's just a straight up grass is greener thing. You look at it and what the Lakers do as far as the way they're building a team. Speak about microwave. I call it microwave hubris, really, because like, look who's going far in the playoffs and who's finishing at the top of the standings. Like these are teams that have taken time to build and have cohesion. And I'm not saying don't go get, you know, the best guys available, but like, the Suns built, that's all through the draft, right? Booker, Ayton, Bridges, that team has a core. You bring in CP3, look what happens. The Grizzlies came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't think people thought they were going to be this good, this fast. And John Morant's already looking like a Hall of Famer. And then you got the Lakers who, like, got rid of all those guys. Like, you look at, you know, Russell, Randall, Ingram, Ball, like these guys, you know what I mean? Just imagine, hypothetically, if that team had somehow stayed together, not that it didn't have flaws, but so I think that's a great example of like expectations on the Lakers, and then look what happens. The Pelicans make the playoffs, and the Lakers don't. You know what I mean? And I really think that next year I don't see how it gets better for the Lakers until they get off one of those contracts or LeBron retires and they fully have to they're like the Leafs in a way, except they've already, you know, they won rings recently, but that's the big difference. But you know, the way that team is built is just. That doesn't seem like the grass is greener. You know what I mean? And like the Pelicans they're a fun team and they're a fun team to root for. You know what I mean? So, and the other one is I think the Raptors are going to make the finals before the Clippers do. So that's my take on that. And it's like, if you think about how devastating it was when Kawhi left, and, you know, don't wish anybody ill, or it's not about that at all. It's again about perception. Like Lawrence Frank winning Executive of the Year, everybody predicting the Clippers are going to make the final. Like they haven't made a finals, and they got a bunch of money. They have like $120 million tied up in George, Kawhi, Markieff Morris, Norman, and Kennard. And then that goes up by 10 mil the year after next. And they're all under contract. And it's like, and they've dealt a ton of picks too, right? OKC has all their picks and pick swaps. Meanwhile, Raptors are finishing fifth. And, I think they make the finals before the Clippers do again. So there's that. You know what I mean? In terms of grass is greener. And I feel for Norm. I miss Norm so much.
I love Norm. I feel for Norm.
Yeah. And this is not about Kawhi's decision in the least. But it was like, boom, Clippers are going to win. You know, Nets are going to make the finals. Lakers, they're going to dominate now that they have AD. And those things haven't happened.
Yeah, I think there's totally been this sort of like, I mean, I always rant about it on this pod, but like this NBA kind of marketing crisis where they like everything's built around them expecting superstars to be the only driving force to like success. But yeah, I think we're witnessing like real teams, and not that those teams don't have superstars. Booker, you know, and Giannis and Middleton and Ayton and Morant, you know, like real like stars, you know. But
Bam Adebayo, I mean, these guys are, you know.
I'm glad you guys didn't bring it up because I feel like it's a solid last one. But you know, you leave OKC to play with Golden State, you get a bunch of, you know, critique. You win 2 championships. Things are great. And you're just like, hey, I'm actually not all about winning, and I'm going to go to Brooklyn because I don't want to play with Steph and Clay and Draymond, and my name's Kevin Durant. And I think I can do what LeBron does, where I'm going to go to a new place and just dictate all of the terms and make a championship. And I mean, Kevin Durant has what he's done on his return with Achilles is immaculate and amazing. But I'm always left thinking, like, what if you just did that on the Warriors? Like, I think you'd still be the Warriors, kind of like, because Clay obviously was injured for a long time. But if Durant stayed with the Warriors, like I it's hard for me to not think that they would be, like more so contenders than they are now. And like you made that big move, it worked. And then you also made another big move, and I don't think it has worked. Yeah, there was the Bucks series, toe on the line. We get it. But the things are that close, and it didn't work out. And who knows? Maybe you're about to make one of the most immaculate, runs we've ever seen, and make the play-in the most exciting thing ever. Like, let's hope for an entertaining thing or whatever. But I don't know, man. I feel like Darius Garland might do more than, I don't know. I mean, if I get aggregated, KD's better than Darius Garland. Okay.
Well, now hold on. Like, don't you think Durant had such a tough, like, he was, when LeBron did it, it was like, oh, player empowerment. When KD moved, and I get that it was a shorter walk, and he went to the team that beat them, and he went to the best team, but like, he got it so bad for years, even when they won, that I'm not even mad at his move to the Nets. And like, that really, how much, like, everything that's happened around that team has been like exclusive of him. All the drama that they've had and the complications and just the humanity going on with the COVID and
totally
how it's affected players on that team and how complicated this all gets. And I'm going to stop short of defending anybody who's anti-vax, quite frankly. But, there's no way anybody saw any of that coming. So I think you can definitely, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm pro Durant in terms of, like, I forgot that was even a thing to be like, you shouldn't. I didn't even know that was an option for him to stay on.
I guess I just assumed
that franchise was going.
I assumed G State would have. I guess part of my assumption is that if Durant was like, gonna take a long time to come back from this injury, but like, I'm a Warrior now. I feel like they would have been like, oh, we got you, max contract, like, you're Kevin Durant.
And they were his own free agent, right? So they definitely could afford.
I kind of assumed. But I get it. You want to pair with Kyrie. I just feel like even that is like, Kyrie ain't Steph, man. He's not even close. And I think, it's a complicated. I think, KD's always been navigating this complicated legacy, like sort of like adjacent to LeBron, but being like better than LeBron in some ways, like better scorer, I think, and like. I think he's in this weird territory where he's like a for sure top 10 player. And I think, just as like, obviously he's lived his life perfectly, but like, I mean, I think it would have been a different narrative if his narrative was like, well, I have 7 rings. Yeah. So like, yes, I left OKC, but I have 7 rings. Like, I think
I think he was having an honestly like bad time in Golden State for minute one.
Yeah.
I don't think he was enjoying himself at all. I think that he had to deal with, like, Draymond is probably, seems like an awesome dude who is also the most annoying dude you've ever met. And like, when you're the best basketball player in the world, arguably, and you have someone in your ear like all of the time telling you how to play, and then you have the entire world hating you when you were like trying to, at the time, he was trying to build an image of himself as like a nice, guy next door, like, shucks, or like, that was sort of the KD vibe, I think, before he joined the Warriors. And then he had to learn how to become a villain. I think it was just like not a good time. And I think he was up for, I think you're right in that he was like, the guaranteed wins aren't the most important thing. And I'm going to just try and go have a good time. And he seems like he's enjoying himself more, which is nice. I'm happy for him in that regard. And I agree with Ennis where I think there's a lot of situational stuff where, like, if KD's healthy, he can win every single game, like, on his own almost. And I feel like that could still be, could have been part of the Brooklyn narrative and might still be. You never know.
Yeah,
it's funny you bring it up, Freddie. You're making me think here, Freddie, because it's a totally valid take on it, and I just like,
you guys are making me think.
He's been so well. That's what we're here to do: make each other think on video, where they can see us thinking.
And by the way, let me
He's been
just
so-
say quickly, I was always
Yeah.
pro move to Golden State. I was never a person who was like, you're not a winner. I was like, I always saw him as a guy being like, now that's ensuring he's going to win a ring.
Mm.
Like, that's how I
Yeah.
saw that. I was like, this guy wants rings. That's like it. Sorry, Ennis.
Yeah, no, I think that's totally valid, but I think that's funny that like he's went from the epicenter of like being vilified on Golden State the whole time he was there to I haven't even thought of him. Like Brooklyn has so much other shit going on that it's like, oh, Durant's been the constant, even though he's had
Yeah.
injury problems and missed that whole first season. Like he's been like, yeah, Kevin Durant plays in Brooklyn now. Yeah, he's great. I hope we don't play
But
him. You know,
just to double down on my own original point a little bit, there was a little bit of like, do we need Karis LeVert? You know, give DeAndre Jordan Jared Allen's money. I want Steve Nash as the coach. Like they're like he
Yeah.
started dipping into that like whatever the
were
nefarious
those his moves? Like
I
was
don't
he
know
pulling
if they're
strings
his
on those
moves,
moves?
for sure, but like
Yeah.
it seemed like he was working his way into the like that weird territory that LeBron's been in forever.
Yeah,
where he's
okay.
like he's not the GM.
Yeah.
He's obviously not the coach, and like I don't think that's fair, those critiques really. But I do feel like when you're that big, you carry immense weight. Just
Yeah.
period. Like I
Yeah.
think if Embiid really wants something to happen in the Sixers organization, like it probably happens.
it's going
But
to
that's
be fascinating to watch what happens to that franchise after we beat them in this first round.
It really is. Okay, wait. So let's just
Wow.
jump to the play-in. Ennis, I'm going to stick with you.
Yeah.
Last question. Let's we'll speed it up a bit here. But out of the 8 teams, because there's 8 teams involved in the play-in, I'm not going to name them all, but like, what is the one team, and maybe it's Brooklyn, that you can envision going the furthest?
Yeah, I think it is Brooklyn. I think all the other teams, like I'm picking the Clippers to lose twice to Minnesota and then
Oh,
to
wow.
the Pelicans.
Juicy.
And I don't think Minnesota or the Pelicans are going to give Phoenix or Memphis much of a run in the first round, but I think Brooklyn is that team that. Well, I don't know if Cleveland was fully healthy. I would pick Cleveland to beat them, but they're not. And that looks. I hate that on the graphic. That doesn't look right at all. Can you clarify what that means? I feel
And it's
like-
Esmer, front runner.
Ennis.
I want them
Brooklyn
to
all the
finish-
time till they bury
I
me.
want them to finish 7th, and they're going to play what, Boston first round now? Is
Yeah.
Boston second?
Yes, if you're
Yeah.
7.
And I just want that to be a 7-game series that exhausts both those teams. You know what I mean? So that by the time we get to the conference finals and play Milwaukee, I'm assuming that they'll also be tired. That everyone will just be tired by the time we get to them.
Absolutely love that. I feel like Miami benefited from that after the Boston-Toronto series.
Oh yeah,
Like Boston like crawled into the arena and they were like, we've seen no daylight. I don't know where I was going with that.
No, it makes sense because Miami was playing in Miami, right? Like there was Orlando, like they were the closest to a home team in the playoffs,
they were
right? Unfair there. I say.
unfair.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Kevin, who's your is it Brooklyn too? Who's going to go the furthest?
It is also Brooklyn. I think it just
Oh,
has
no.
to be. I think that they're sort of almost accidentally in the play-in in the first place. They had a lot of misfortune. If they can get rolling, then I hate it.
This is
Yeah,
mean.
this
doing
is
this
great.
thing. Out of
No.
context. it's very
Matt knows what
upsetting.
he's doing. Okay, he's taking screenshots too. Trust me.
And like I was
Yeah.
saying before, the KD factor is it's just if he gets going, then it's like Brooklyn could beat Boston in a series, and so I don't think there's any other play-in team who I could see winning their first round matchup.
Mhm.
Okay, here's mine, and I'm probably gonna get I guess I'm going into hater territory because I'm not picking Brooklyn.
False.
Although
It's fine. I don't
know.
like Brooklyn. Don't make me like
you
Brooklyn.
guys love Brooklyn, I totally get it. No worries. Mine is Minnesota. I just think
Yeah.
that I'm not at all of the opinion where it's like Memphis has to prove themselves sort of thing. But I do think that Towns is on a special kind of season.
I love Towns, and I want only the best for him.
Oh yeah, I mean he's such a great story, and I just have this weird feeling that there's always a surprise player in the playoffs. Even if they're not there's someone that everyone knows, they sort of announce themselves. I feel like Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, is about to announce himself. And I just,
Okay.
there's no real, like, it's just a weird gut feeling. Just another weird gut feeling. I feel like Chris Boucher is about to go crazy on the Sixers.
Really?
I don't know why. It's just a
From
gut.
three, or what are we talking about?
No, just like hustle. I think Boucher
Sure.
is just going to be like rebounding, and I don't know. I think he's going to go off in a bench playery way. But
Can I make another prediction with that? Add to
Sure.
the in terms of the revenge game. Never bet against the revenge game. Patrick Beverly against the Clippers will either get a triple double or get 2 technicals in the first 4 minutes. One of those two.
That's also my thing. I think Pat Bev is going to like injure 2 people.
Yeah, he's gonna ruin someone's day for sure.
Oh, no.
Like I think Pat is gonna push like 10 people in the back. Like it's gonna be like absolute bedlam. Pat Bev bothers me so much. I don't know why I'm not rooting for this. Okay,
It's literally what he makes his job, is to bother people. So
Yeah.
it works. Okay, guys, that's the pod. We made it.
Oh no, Freddie.
Oh, no.
Thanks
Supports
you,
us.
Freddie.
What's that?
You
Oh,
froze
yeah,
at
so
the
your
worst
face is
possible
frozen.
time.
Oh, I'm
It happened
frozen?
earlier. It was amazing.
No, you're
You were
good
like,
now.
You're
"Here's
back
my-"
now.
You were
You're
like,
back.
"Here's my thing with Durant," and then you went like this,
And
then
you
just
were like,
froze.
yeah.
And I really
Hey.
thought you were keying up for like a big Durant revelation.
Oh man, I thought like I like started trying to like wrap up the pod, and Matt was gonna be like, I don't know. I thought there was like I skipped over somebody's opinion, but
No, you just froze.
I just froze. That's
You're
okay. Well, yeah. Thanks again, everybody. Thank you guys. Let me go to you before I sign off here, and Kev, let's go to you first.
Okay.
What's up? What do you want to let people know about? Or just like well, yeah. What do you want people to know?
Couple things. So first of all, I forget the exact dates because I'm bad at promotion. I'm not actually involved in this, but there's an event called the Lawyer Show where a bunch of lawyers get together and put on a musical. And it's all for charity. It's done through Nightwood Theater. It's happening, I believe it's May 12th to 14th, but go to Nightwood Theater and check it out. It's for a good cause, and it should be a lot of fun. And I'm not in it this year, but maybe next year, like I'll hop in there. And
Oh, you're gonna end
You
up
know?
starring in that show.
oh yeah,
100%.
it's my life. It's my life goal.
I got to see that.
Yeah.
Is it like mostly legal themed musicals, or like are the original compositions? What's the deal?
They're doing one this year that I didn't recognize the name of it, and so now I obviously forget it. But they've done like Man of La Mancha, and I think they did the Legally Blonde musical. Although they don't they don't do legal stuff all the time. They'll just do a musical, but it's all like lawyers and legal people.
That's great.
That's fantastic. Like even the concept of that is like I just picture like everyone's getting like sued in the audience. And, yeah, like clearly I don't have
The
good-
3 front rows get sued.
Yes.
They get
I don't
subpoenaed.
know.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's a really everyone regrets going. It's it creates problems in their life for several years.
Yeah. Okay. Check that out. Check that out, everybody. Ennis, what's up, man? You got stuff on TV. You got stuff going on. What's up?
Do I? Is there anything on TV right now?
Maybe you don't.
We're about to shoot Children Ruin Everything season 2. That's exciting.
Hey, congrats.
It's going to be out on Roku in the States for our American Raptors fans that also subscribe to the Roku streaming service. So that's a very specific target of your market. But yeah, season 2. I can't wait to get back at it. It's going to be fun. And that's about it. I'm just going to be consuming as much playoff basketball as I can while not working or sleeping. Can't wait.
Damn right.
Yeah. And we're about to kick off the first game in like 5 minutes, right? So
Yeah,
right.
let's get it. It's
let's do it.
7 p.m. on the 12th. You'll be listening to this on the 13th. So hopefully 2 exciting games. Again, thanks for tuning in and sharing and stuff. Happy to be part of RR. And Matty D, if you feel like we're good to go, please just give me those sweet words. Okay.
Okay.
Listen to the Confederacy of Dunks exclusively on the Rapcast.